It's now time for Trivia Tracks with yours truly, Price Robertson. This edition of Trivia Tracks is brought to you by Washita Valley Respiratory Care, where you can breathe a little easier, and Beth Smith at Edward Jones. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC. He was the father of Western fiction. Owen Wister is best remembered for writing The Virginian and a biography of Ulysses S. Grant. Born in the Germantown section of Philadelphia on July 14, 1860, Wister briefly attended schools in Switzerland and England. He later studied at St. Paul's School in Concord, New Hampshire, and Harvard University in Cambridge, Massachusetts, where he was a member of the Hasty Pudding Theatricals and a member of the Alpha chapter of Delta Kappa Epsilon. At first he aspired a career in music, worked briefly in banking, and then studied law. It wasn't until 1882 that he found his calling in literature, publishing the new Swiss Family Robinson, a parody of the famous 1812 novel. It was so well received that Mark Twain wrote a letter to Wister praising it. He spent several summers in the American West, making his first trip to Wyoming Territory in 1885, planning to shoot big game, fish trout, meet the Indians, and spend nights in the wild. Like his friend Theodore Roosevelt, Wister was fascinated with the culture, lore, and terrain of the region. When he started writing, Wister naturally inclined towards fiction set on the western frontier. His most famous work remains the 1902 novel The Virginian, a complex mixture of persons, places, and events dramatized from experience, word of mouth, and his own imagination, ultimately creating the archetypal cowboy, who is a natural aristocrat, set against a highly mythologized version of the Johnson County War, and taking the side of the large landowners. It was Wister who deliberately chose not to give the title character a name. The Virginian is widely considered the first cowboy novel, though many modern scholars argue that this distinction belongs to Emma Gent Curtis's The Administratrix, published over a decade earlier. The Virginian was reprinted 14 times in 8 months. It stands as one of the top 50 best-selling works of fiction and is considered by Hollywood experts to be the basis for the modern fictional cowboy portrayed in literature, film, and on television. Owen Wister passed away on July 21, 1938, a week after his 78th birthday, near a house that he built near La Mesa, California, but never occupied due to his wife's death in 1913, is a street called Wister Drive. In the same neighborhood are Virginian Lane and Molly Woods Avenue, named for a character in The Virginian. All of those streets were named by Wister himself. In 1976, he was inducted into the Hall of Great Westerners of the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum. Till next time, I'm Price Robertson. Amazed by today's trivia? Then join me every Monday through Friday morning for Trivia Tracks on Fox Sports Camden 97.1.